Coming up, I'm going to share a simple hack that will always allow you to be leveling up in your professional skills. And then we're going to take on activism in the office today and what bosses are doing. Let's go. Helping you win at work because you are a pro. I'm Ken. This is the Ken Coleman Show. All right, let's simplify continual growth. Because if you're a serious professional, and I assume that you are if you're listening or watching this show, you want to win at work because you want to have an opportunity to grow, and with that growth comes more money, and with more money comes more options. Let me simplify growth for you. And successful people, really successful people, have either learned this or they did it intuitively or instinctively. But I can tell you, as a guy who pays attention to this world, who gets young people coming and asking him advice all the time, I'm still blown away at how many people don't get this simple hack to just leveling up and constantly growing. And here it is. You ready? Make your meals count. Make your coffees count. In other words, you shouldn't be having a meal alone. You shouldn't be drinking coffee alone. Hey, if you're like me, you shouldn't have a cigar alone. You should always be maximizing that time to be with people that are better than you. There it is. It's that simple. It's that simple. I could be a hardliner on this and say, if you're a young professional, if you're going out to lunch 5 times a week, I'd be a little irritated at you if 4 of the 5 aren't with somebody who's higher up the ladder in life than you. Period. The idea of breaking bread with someone and asking questions to learn, to grow, is so fundamental to your success that if you aren't doing it, I'm telling you, I think you're holding yourself back. I really do. Now, let's just talk about this. What happens when I go have coffee with somebody, or I go have lunch with somebody, or I go have dinner with somebody who I look up to, or who is an acquaintance, or a brand new relationship that's in my profession, and I've got this opportunity to sit across from them? As a guy who has built his career on interviewing people and has been blessed to interview some of the biggest names, most successful people in the world, I can tell you that it is no different than me sitting across from someone who is well-known and very successful and me interviewing them for you. But now, when it's me one-on-one and when it's you one-on-one with somebody who's successful, you are essentially getting an opportunity to do your own private podcast. And here's what happens over a meal or over a coffee. That same person, if you had not met them in this environment, this casual environment of a meal or a coffee or a cocktail, they're going to give you a much better audience. They're going to be more tuned in and connected to you. They're going to let their defenses down a little bit when you get interested in them. Let me remind you, if you haven't realized this about yourself in a while, my favorite topic, your favorite topic, everybody's favorite topic is themselves. This is true. Okay. Now, I'm not beating up on me or all of us and saying that we're a bunch of vain, megalomaniacs. No, what I'm saying is that when someone is interested in us, it feels good. And so if you're sitting across from this very successful person and you become interested in their journey, you become interested in their expertise, you become interested in their opinion, you become interested in their insight and wisdom in one of your situations, let me tell you what happens. Relationship is built. A true connection happens. When you connect 2 wires, right? If you're putting a light up or a ceiling fan, you have to connect all those wires and then we get power. That's the connectivity that's happening here. And so with that being our setup, let me tell you the problem that I hear from a lot of people. Well, I can't catch a break. There's no opportunities, Ken. I'm applying. I just can't break through. Here's another one I hear a lot. Ken, I appreciate your book, The Proximity Principle, but I just don't know enough people. And the answer is to that, you do know enough people, but you should know more people. In fact, that's the unintended theme of my lesson here to start the show today. That's it. I didn't even plan to say that, but I should have planned to say that. For those of you who don't think you know enough people, let me just say this again. You already know enough people to get opportunities in your life, but you should know more people. By the way, that goes for me as well. I'm eating what I'm cooking today. I can always know more people. Always. And by the way, I'm very intentional to do this stuff. I'm a 2-time best-selling author. I have my own show, national show, blah, blah, blah. I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that I still need to know more people. And I do. I will tell you that on an average month, I am meeting between 5 to 10 new people. And I have a very busy schedule. And on an average month, there are months where I'm meeting more than that. I just recently joined a cigar club, for crying out loud. Did you know this, Nathan? You're going to love this. It's called Holy Smokes. Yeah, it's great. It's an international group. And it's a bunch of Christian guys and business guys, and we just all enjoy a cigar. And they got chapters all around the world. My buddy Kay Hiramine is the founder of it. I just discovered it. It's called Holy Smokes. Guy invites me. I said, tell me about the guys. Just good dudes getting together on Friday afternoon. I said, I'm in. I am meeting. Now, I can't go every Friday, but I'd say I'm making 2 Fridays out of a month, or I try to. And when I go to that, just as one example, I am meeting sometimes as many as 10 guys I've never met before. And I don't mean just, hi, my name's Ken. And he's like, hi, I'm Fred. No, like we are having a cigar together and we are having conversation and we're learning about each other. And as I learn about these guys, they tell me what they do. These are all successful guys. By the way, key point, these aren't losers. Okay? Like I got invited to hang out with winners, and it just happens to be over cigars. Remove that away from the equation. I'm not hanging out with duds who just like to smoke. I'm hanging out with studs who like to smoke. Big difference. Big difference. This is where opportunities come, folks, over conversation. So real quick, wrap this up. You need to be intentional to constantly be meeting people, and your posture is this, to learn about them and to learn from them. That's it. That's it. I want to learn about you, and I'm going to find a way to learn from you. Now, this does 2 things, okay? First of all, it makes you interesting because you're interested in them. And because you're interested in them first, they turn the tables on you. And they get interested in you, and then they learn about you. And then maybe they learn from you. Uh-oh, what just happened? A connection. And here's the key. When you need opportunities in life, you should have already prepared all these connections to where you can go to these connections and these people know you, and you have just expanded and expanded and expanded your relationships. The single greatest factor to leveling up your skills, to leveling up your growth as a professional, is about connecting with other people who are winning, preferably people who are winning as much and want to win more, or people who are winning more than you and still want to keep winning. This is it. This will happen organically. We all talk about organic plants and all this. Let me tell you something. If you are a homeowner right now and you're listening to me and you have a yard, you have experienced the frustration of a weed. You don't have to plant weeds. I'm going to tell you something about weeds. Weeds are just going to grow. And if you let them go, they'll completely take over. I want you to think of yourself as a weed. You just keep showing up and meeting people and growing through the conversation. You will grow like a weed. No one will be able to stop you. This is true. You can take that to the bank. So, there you go. It's that simple. Most people miss this great truth because it takes work and it takes thoughtfulness and intentionality. But do it and you'll win, I promise. Hey, high school seniors and parents of high school seniors, it's almost graduation time. And if you're not sure about next steps, I want you to listen to this. Coding skills are essential in today's workforce. And my friends at Bethel Tech can help you start a new career really fast and do it cheap. It only takes 9 months to complete a Bethel Tech course in UI, UX design, full stack development, data science, or cybersecurity. And your young person can get over 1,000 hours of experience in a collaborative environment and then get placed. The average starting salary for a junior developer is $66,000. And the field is projected to grow by 22% over the next 5 years. Software development is a career with an enormously bright future. And right now, Bethel Tech is offering you 10% off if you watch or listen to The Ken Coleman Show and you pay cash. So go to betheltech.net/Ken Coleman, betheltech.net/Ken Coleman right now for details. Terms and conditions do apply. Folks, the key to winning at work, the key to you becoming the professional that you want to be so that you can live the personal life that you desire, is to do the work you're wired to do. And we've been telling you about my new book. It's a really short book. You can read this in about 45 minutes or less, and it comes with the Get Clear assessment. So you got a book and an assessment. So if you haven't heard me talk about this, what is this? The Get Clear assessment is unlike any other self-awareness tool that's out there, because it's not about your personality profile. It has nothing to do with personality. It has everything to do with the 3 wires that we all have. Talent's what we do best. Passion, what we enjoy doing most. And mission, the results we want to put to produce into the world. So simply put, if I use what I do best to do what I love to produce results that matter to me, I'm a happy camper. And oh, by the way, I'm really successful. Think about that. Use what you do best to do what you enjoy to produce results you care about. And this is what most people are looking for in life. This is why every teenager, every 30-year-old, every 50-year-old that aren't in the work they're wired to do ask the question, what should I do with my life? Everybody's trying to find that niche, if you will. Well, the assessment gives you a purpose statement that is built from a detailed report on your top talents, your primary passions, and then the ultimate mission that you want to fulfill. And so think of the assessment as the self-awareness tool, shows me who I am. It gives me insight into why I am that way. And then the book comes along and helps me figure out where I can do the work and how I get there. So that's the combo. It's called the Get Clear Assessment, Find the Work You're Wired to Do. And today's the last day to get it as a pre-order special. And if you pre-order it now, then you will get the audiobook and an assessment code, the ebook and an assessment code, the hard copy and the assessment code. So essentially 3 books, 3 assessments. It's a fabulous deal and a great, great gift for that person who's struggling professionally that you know, that graduate, whether it be the high school or college level. This is a wonderful tool. So comes out May 7th. That'll be tomorrow. So you can get it at kencoleman.com in the store. So go get that while you can. Okay, from the headlines. In my attempt to keep you folks updated with trends in the world of work so that you know what to do, this is from the Wall Street Journal. And the headline reads, company bosses draw a red line on office activists. And I say, bravo. I want to stand up and clap, but it'll get me out of the video frame. And Nathan, the director, will be very upset at me. But I really, truly want to stand up and just slow clap. To be obnoxious, to make a point. I've been talking about this for the last several years. And now we're starting to see some business leaders grow a spine, but only, not out of principle, unfortunately, but they are growing a spine because it's not good for business to allow this office activism stuff to happen. They don't want the dissent, which is causing disruption. And so here we are. The pendulum, as it does, swings in multiple areas. A couple years ago, sure, you want to dissent, you want to protest at the office. We have spineless leaders that are scared of upsetting a few loud and cranky employees, so they allowed it. Now, we have some big-time companies. Hello, Google is leading the charge. Right here in the article. Google decided to fire 28 workers. 28 that were involved in sit-in protests as a result of Google's cloud computing contract with the Israeli government. So here you go. It's not a bigger issue in the news right now other than the presidential race and all the things going on with Trump and Biden. Outside of that, the Middle East is the big story in the news. And we're seeing college campuses erupt. This is a hot button issue. Obviously, we know this, but Google realizes, hey, listen, we're a business, and who knows how many countries Google does cloud services for? But you've got 28 employees that don't like the government of Israel. By the way, that's their prerogative. I'm not getting into the political statements, and I'm not getting into their views. But simply put, they don't like it that one of Google's clients is a country that they disagree with. So what do? Well, they decide to do a sit-in, and there's a lot of protest. And so they were immediately fired. Immediately. And here's where we stand, by the way, legally on this. Workers in the private sector at this point are not protected by the First Amendment's guarantees of free speech. And there's a lot of uncertainty as to what is legally allowed for us Americans in the workplace. It's just not really clear. And so right now, legally, if I decide to walk in here to Ramsey Solutions in the lobby and I get 10 of our employees to make a big ruckus, and we got poster board and we're shouting and acting crazy and disrupting our guests that are sitting in the lobby watching me right now. This is a place of business. Then Dave Ramsey has every right legally to fire my tail immediately and escort me out the building. Why? This is not a place of protest. This is a place of business. And so Google, good on them, they made a statement. Here's an actual statement from the Google CEO. He said, "We need to be more focused in how we work, collaborate, discuss, and even disagree. I say bravo." Google's vice president of global security said that the employees, the 28 who protested and caused a ruckus at Google headquarters, this is his statement, I quote, "They made coworkers feel threatened." You think? You can disagree with Israel or any other country. But when in America did it become okay to say violent things and threaten people of a different race? In the workplace, your coworkers. So all of a sudden now it's okay for a certain group of people? I say no, it isn't. And Google said it isn't either. You're fired. Clean your desk out. Good for them. Corporate leaders are becoming concerned about the public backlash, especially boards of directors. So you want to know why the pendulum has swung? Because corporate leaders are going, our board of directors, people have ultimate authority to fire us, people who allow me to make millions and millions and millions of dollars, don't like it when I allow my snowflake, woke, offended employees to protest in the office. So again, while I'm applauding this shift, It's not really principle. It's about getting paid. But I say good. I don't care how we get there, just as long as we get there. Google CEO, another quote. This is a business and not a place to act in a way that disrupts coworkers or makes them feel unsafe to attempt to use the company as a personal platform. This is too important a moment as a company for us to be distracted. Here's what I say. Leaders, it's time for you to grow a spine, or you're going to lose your job and you may lose your company. At the end of the day, customers want the product or the service you provide. They don't want your political opinion. They don't want to hear your employees' political opinion. I'll go back to Target and Bud Light. Well, they're fine. And the critics will say in the comments, oh, well, they're fine. Well, sure. But ask their CEO and leadership if they had it to do all over again, if they would do it. I say I doubt they would. They're in the business of making money through a product or service. People have political outlets all day long they can watch and be involved in. The customer wants the product or the service. And I think we're going to see a shift back to, listen, we're just Google. We've already seen Bud Light shift back to just being cheap and bad. That's their game. They just said, okay, never mind. We're going to stick to making cheap, bad beer. And they're recovering. So, to you who are watching this on YouTube, and this is going to, who knows where these things go. If you want to be involved politically, no one supports that more than me. I'm as political as they come. I love watching it, paying attention to it. I used to work in it. But there's a time and a place for this. You want to be active? Go protest in the public square, and then what may come comes. And you just that's your deal. Go protest all you want to. I'm for as much peaceful protest as you want. I'm not for people stopping traffic. I'm not for people threatening others in public. So look up Gandhi. Go find a good model there. A lot of peaceful protesters. Go figure out where you can do it and how you can do it. Stop doing it in the workplace. You should be fired. It's a place of work, not a place of politics. Let's get politics out of the office. Let's get politics away from our customer and just do what we're supposed to do. And I think it's going to be better for everybody. So if you don't want to work, go join all these woke students that are just screaming all day long about what offends them. Oh, and by the way, they want their student loan forgiven too. America sucks. Hey, if you're enjoying the show, would you help me? You can do that. You have so much power, you people. The power of the people. I'm trying to be a man of the people. And so I would ask you to give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube, right below the video window. Subscribe to our channel and share it. And if you're listening via podcast, give us a follow and a 5-star review. I'm not interested in the 1-star reviews. Don't want those. Don't really care. And for those of you who like to send nasty comments, I want to set you free so that you can pester somebody else. I don't read the comments, and my team will tell you that. I don't read the good comments because they're not good for my head, and I don't read the bad comments because they're not good for my heart. So I live in a comment-free zone, and it's wonderful because I just sit here and I think that, everybody likes what I'm saying. And it's really freeing. It's thank you, ma'am. I'm getting thumbs up from a lady in the lobby. I will pay you after the show, ma'am. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to the business of coaching some people. That's what I really, really love to do. Let's go to Alex, who's joining us in Dallas, Texas. Alex, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. How's it going?
I am living the dream. What are you doing?
Excellent. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Yeah, so I'll start with my question and maybe some background after. I guess my question is, should I follow my passion of dentistry, even with the significant sacrifice that it will take, or should I look to an alternate route that might meet some of those passions that I find in dentistry?
Wow.
So
I like the way you set this up. So let's reverse this. Tell me about the alternate route that satisfies the passion of doing dental work, and describe it to me briefly. How much is it going to cost and how long will it take after you tell me what it is?
Okay, that's where I'm struggling too, because I am kind of leaning, I feel like, a little bit away from dentistry just because of the amount of sacrifice.
Yeah, I
haven't quite found the part where I need your help of figuring out the opposite.
So we haven't found the alternative. Okay.
Yeah,
all right, let's pivot back. And by the way, I'm not asking this with cynicism. So I don't want to sound this way, but I'm fascinated to know what makes you love dental work.
Yeah, so I love the restoration of teeth and all the things that, seeing the bad go to the good, and the
gnarlier the person's teeth are, the more excited you get. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's pretty fascinating.
And I do, and I also like the kind of the customer service part of it. I really enjoy helping.
Great. That is
people.
very.
I want them to feel welcomed and loved and out of pain and have confidence once again.
Wow. Fantastic answer. You illuminated a lot for me right there. What's the sacrifice? How many years and how much is it going to cost?
Yeah, so part of the background with that is I am older. I'm 30. I have a young family, and I have tried a few times to get into dental school. Haven't quite got there. Mm-hmm. But I've talked to people that have been in similar situations as me, and they've led me on a path to a master's program that helps you. Basically, if you do well in that, pretty much everyone gets into their desired medical program.
Right. So how long and how much?
That is, you can range it from a year to 2 years, and it's about $40,000.
That's all? No, that's
for the master.
I know, brother. Listen, I'm trying to help you. So just answer my question. Total amount of money and total amount of time to become a dentist is what?
Okay, that is closer to, depending on the school, it's hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
300,000 to 500,000.
And I don't want you to go into debt for that, because I've literally talked to dentists who are about to break.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long would it take you to save up that kind of money?
Well, and that's where...
No, stay with me, brother. Stay with me. I'm getting you there. I'm just asking you, how long would it take you to save up that kind of money to be able to go through the master's program and the dental program debt-free?
Yeah, so I see it as there wouldn't be a path to save up for it.
Okay.
And that's where I would want to do something like the military. But the issue with the military, and this is my hesitation of dentistry, is I wouldn't be able to know if I'm accepted into the military until I'm already accepted into dental school.
Yeah,
so then there'd be a sacrifice of master's degree before even knowing if I got the school paid for.
Yeah, I don't think dentistry is the path, because I think there are a lot of options that meet the criteria of why dentistry is interesting to you. To review for you and the audience, you said, I love the restoration piece. I said to you, the gnarlier the teeth, the more excited you get. And you went, yeah. All right, now there's a theme. Second, you said, I love the customer service piece, just serving people. And then third, you dropped this little detail. You said, I just want to see them overcome pain or a lack of confidence and kind of walk a little taller. I thought that was an interesting nuance. Did I get that right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Are you a particularly handy person?
No, not particularly.
Okay. Because I'm going to challenge you to come up with some different ideas. I'm going to give you a couple. that I
Okay.
think hit most of those points. It won't hit the pain piece, but I think it could hit maybe the confidence piece, but it certainly is a big customer service piece. So I'm going to lock in on restoration and customer service. Those are the two main points. I just wonder if you don't think about getting into the car restoration business or the house restoration business, because it is the same concept of taking somebody's teeth that are all jacked up and fixing their teeth and their mouth and all the positives that come with that. But I think you're intrigued by restoration, and I think the thing you love is the idea of restoration, and the thing that motivates you is that you're serving somebody deeply with that. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. The challenge is you're not particularly handy, but I don't know if that's not a thing you couldn't learn. When I say those two things to you, how does that hit you? And I don't mind if it's off.
That's kind of been an idea that I've recently had, but it's never been, like you're saying, I'm not particularly handy, so
yeah.
I feel less.
But here's what I want you to do. I opened up today's show talking about sitting with people and having coffee and lunch. Your homework assignment is to first and foremost, do some more research on restoration type work. What all is out there? Second, find some people in your local area that are in that kind of work and go get with them. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows these guys or gals, and you can sit with them. And I would learn everything there you could learn about what it takes to be good at it. You might have enough skill to do it. Or it might be a thing where you don't have to have the skill as much as you hire people who have the skill. And I wonder if a bridge, since you've got a family, a bridge would be to do this on the side and build that up to where eventually you do it for yourself, or you go work for somebody who's doing that work and you get a master's degree while getting paid from them to do the work and eventually go out on your own. I think that's a better path for you. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does.
All right, my man. I appreciate the call. That's the process for you. Dentistry is just one way to do restorative work. I think you need to figure out the restorative work that you can do best.
Thanks for listening to The Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.